Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Hof Bergmann. Right, so we're progressing pretty well. We're in February 2, same pretty much time as we were in the last episode, but we're going to do a few bits and bobs. We're going to sell some produce that's processed. We've got all the wine bottles to finish off, so all the red wine is now sorted out. We've also got the UHT milk that we took in the last episode, so we're going to go get that. And as you've probably just seen in the back of the Nissan truck, we've got some eggs as well, so we're going to try and do this all in one shot and then get back and we can start focusing on the butter and doing some cheese. So we're going to try and take this because I think this trailer will be enough for taking some pallets of UHT milk. Now I'm hoping it won't be too heavy, might have a little bit of an issue, but we'll find out. But first what I want to do is point out a new purchase. In fact there's two new purchases. But the first one, we went for a bigger, more powerful tractor. So this is around 330 horsepower. We've obviously originally had the 7250 Warrior Deutz-Fahr, and we've now got this 9340. So a much more powerful, about 120 I think it is, or 110 horsepower increase, and it pulls a lot more. So all that hard work from the first load of red wine, that was a bit of a nightmare, as you probably saw, that's paid off. We've now got ourselves a better tractor. But not only did we get ourselves a better tractor, we also got this. So this is now a much bigger loading wagon. It's around 50,000 litres as well, and it's Bergmann, so a perfect make for this map. And this is around 300 horsepower requirement, so only the bigger Deutz-Fahr is going to be able to pull that. So we have made some purchases, some upgrades. I've sold the previous loading wagon, and I also sold the Massey. So the original, not the Massey that I'm using with the front loader. It's the old school Massey that I had. I sold that as well. So didn't really lose too much money by doing it because they were hefty purchases. So these are going to come in handy. Anyway, it's nice to have the upgrade. So let's crack on with this. We're going to go take this probably first. We'll go and get the UHT milk because I imagine if we just have a quick look, sell prices, everything's spot on as you can imagine. Everything's pretty much the right time to sell, so we have got quite a bit of milk as well sitting there, which is good to see. But if we have a look first at red wine, so red wine at the village shops, 4951. The best time to sell is in February, when we are January, February, so we're pretty much perfect time to sell that. UHT milk, best time again, February, and we're getting 2,000 on the village shop as well, so that's brilliant news. So we'll be taking that there. And if we have a quick look finally at the eggs, I think I might have gone past them. Eggs, you can see that it's not the best time to sell, but we're going to sell them anyway. We are 2381, so you could hold off, but I just thought while I've got them in, we may as well. We're going to the farm shop anyway. It seems like it's the place to be. So first we're going to go to the dairy though. We're going to pick up the UHT milk, get it on the back of here, and then we can do all this in one go hopefully. We do need to come and use the trailer though. I've already preloaded with the rest of the red wine, but the good thing about that is it's now moving. So we've got quite a lot on, but they're not all weighing a ton. They're around 200 kilograms per crate, so a lot better than a ton. Right, so we're just about to load on. Part of the trailer just about there, should be fine. And as you can tell as well, I have purchased a forklift. That's not part of our arsenal, it is part of the dairy. So it's good to have this here. But this is the UHT milk, so these are all 2,000 litres now. I've changed them so they're a bit heavier. But yeah, 2,000 litres in each one. 2.1 tonne as well, so I'm worried now this might be a bit of a problem. But let's test it out. I mean, there's only one way to find out. We'll test it out and see how bad or how good it performs. I mean, 2 tonne is pretty heavy, let's be honest. See if I can fit 6 on here. That'll be pretty good going, but that's going to be difficult. It really is. And you saw that just drop down then. Just shows how heavy this actually is. Another one's just, I'm sure another one's just dropped, or maybe it hasn't. But we'll try and just take as much as possible, really. I mean, it's £2,000 a litre, per 1,000 litres, sorry. So, I mean, this is £4 in each one of these, so we're already at 8. So it's well worth doing, it really is, to turn it into UHT milk. If you don't mind handling pallets, then this is definitely a no-brainer. So there we go, that's that on. I think we're going to do this. I don't know how many we're going to get on, but we'll get as many on as possible. So this guy is just admiring the UHT milk. He's thinking this is good milk, really good milk. So we've got 4 pallets on. It's 8,000 litres. Now I tried to put one more on, but it started to struggle to move. So I thought there's no chance of me getting 3 on. So I took the extra one off. We're just going to travel with these 4. I think this will be enough. With the eggs we've got, this will definitely be enough. It is something that we're going to have to probably come down. If we ever do it like mainstream, so if we're doing quite a lot of bulk of this, it does make sense to use a big, obviously, trailer, lorry, truck, anything like that. If you're pulling it with a Nissan on a tiny little flatbed, you're pretty much asking for trouble, because it's some heavy stuff the way I've got it going. I mean, a lot of the time you'll be hauling this full, and I think originally it's around 500 litres, I think. So it's not too bad when it's like that. See, it struggles to break as well. Now I think the farm shop is left, but I just want to confirm that. It's definitely left. Yep. So we're going to go over here and there. So we're going to take a right, and then we'll be at the farm shop, and then we can quickly jump into the truck and sell the red wine. But first, let's make sure we do this properly. It's a bit of a funny trigger system on this map so far. I'm sure it will be changed, because it's yeah, the fact that we have to tip things like the egg boxes, but these pallets we just have to take around the back. And they sell perfectly fine around the back. Unless you do what I did, which is tip the truck over by accident. And then you have a nightmare. But if we take it about here, you can start seeing that it's now selling. Our money is flying up. We should get, yeah, good chunk of money from this. So then we can just make that out, but we got 16,000, then we got an extra £1,000 bonus for the environmental score that we're currently using on the map, or currently acquired, let's say, on the map. So we want to open up the back. Well, first we want to probably disconnect, just because it's easier for us. And then what I'll do is I'll pull in here and I'll show you the best way, let's say, to sell these. Now luckily you can grab these. I've got 500 pieces in each box, just because of the way I've set it up. So if I jump run in here now and turn these upside down, you'll see that on the right hand side that it's all going down, the money's going up, and eventually it'll disappear. So that's £1,000, man. £1,000 for a box of eggs. Whereas these ones, which are the original size, which is only 25 pieces, are a lot different. And it just goes to show how easy it is to set up like that. Now, obviously, with them being 500, it's pretty much impossible for you to put them on the back of the bike, because the bike just will tip over instantly. Too much weight. You can see that it's I prefer it like this. So it just flies up. It's less trips as well. So I'll carry on. I'll get all these sold, so we've got all the eggs gone, and then we'll move over to the red wine. And after that, we can start focusing on the cheese and the butter. So just about getting this to reverse. We just need to try and get it in the right spot. So maybe we can go forward again. You can see that it has sold quite a bit there. and if we drop it out, this will hopefully sell the rest. So let's just try and open the side, and you can see how much wine I've actually got. There is a fair amount. And there we go. We're at 600,000. 600,000. We have made so much money from the red wine. It really is a good earner. Really looking forward to doing red wine as well, and some more orchard work on map Atelier. So on the Atelier map that's coming out soon to FS22. Obviously there was a version of that on FS19, but it has been fully upgraded, brand new, and it's coming out pretty much next month. So in July, look out for Atelier map, because that's going to be stunning. It really is. So we'll do some more great work, or vineyard work on that map, definitely. Right, so the final thing we're going to do, we're going to start working through some cheese and also some butter. So the first thing we need to do is obviously get some more milk. We've got plenty of it sitting in. We've got about 4,000 litres if I remember. We can actually quickly just take a look at the animals. I mean, I know we've got quite a bit of hay sitting there. 3,900 left in there. Chickens are fine for water and for feed, so we don't need to worry about them. But yeah, so really we're just topping up on milk hopefully soon, and also got quite a bit of slurry as well. So when we do need to do some grass work, we can always use that. Right, so what we're going to do quickly is we're going to just pull this up here, because we've got 4,500 litres in here. Now we want to separate this. Now this trigger here is for the cheese. As you can see, the hose kind of connects through to this vat, this big vat thing, and then we're going to start doing the cheese over there. But for this, what we're going to need is this tool to bring it in for where we do the butter. So if we jump into this, hopefully if we open the lid, what I'm hoping to do is just bring it around here and hope that I get some off. Now, I think it needs to be underneath it, unfortunately, so that is a shame. Let's see if I can get it just to trigger. If not, we're going to have to wait for another batch of milk to come through, so we'll have to leave this one here and just focus on doing the cheese. Unfortunately, I've kind of taken all the milk. But anyway, what we need to do with this one is just walk up to it, start dropping the milk in. This will automatically go into kind of like the production menu. You can see that 3,300 is left. Now I think that filled up, in all fairness. But let's just have a quick look in here. So you can see that the milk is now visible in this. If we go into the production menu, you can see that cheese, and you can do 120 cycles per month. We get, each cycle takes 25 litres of milk, turns it into 50 litres of cheese, and we can now activate the cheese. Simple as this. We should see an animation in front of us, but we'll have a look at that in a minute, and then we want to start storing. So you can see that it's now quickly just doing its thing. Now it is a shame that I can't get. What we could do is, why don't we try and get a bucket? Now with this thing, you actually do need to come up to it first, and if you go in here, you'll see an open butter drum option. So if you open the drum, which is where obviously you'll put the milk, you can then unload. Without opening that drum, you won't find the trigger. So if you back something up in here and you're not getting the trigger pop up, it's just because you need to get the lid off the drum. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring in a bit of a bucket here, and we're going to try this another way. So if we just drop down a superstore delivery, as I call it, go to the equipment, hopefully we can find a bucket there. I think it's in this. There we go. So if we can just buy one of these, there we go. Now I had to change these buckets to hold a lot more as well, which is going to help. Pick up the bucket, put it underneath. I expect it to drop from there, but I don't think it will unless I have to jump in. There you go. So we can. There we go. That actually worked a treat. So now we've got a bucket of milk. This does actually make me think about this with the calves. Complete side note. Milk is not accepted here. Because I know if I just quickly buy a calf here, it does say something about... So we just buy one. He's now in there. He's got straw on the ground. If we have a look at the animal tab, go to the calf igloo, it wants... There's no productivity because it says here calf milk only used for calves. But then I can't read the rest of it. So what is calf milk and how do you get it? That's a good question. I don't think there is any extra items. You used to get calf milk replacer and you'd have to mix it yourself with a bit of water. You'd put the calf, it's like a supplement calf milk replacer. It comes in a bag like this basically and used to mix it in FS19 version. But I can't seem to find anything like that. So I don't think that's currently in the game, which makes me question how we get milk. Now, I was thinking, could it be something to do with calf milk? Or, I mean, just milk, sorry. But as you can tell... Oh, wait a minute. That one worked. That one did work. So I wonder what we did. Wow, we need to tip it more. So there you go, that answers that question. You just get a bucket of milk and you can fill up. As you can see, you can fill up these buckets to feed calves. Now, have we still got a full bucket of milk? Not full, but very close. So let's just check now to see. So there you go. So this cow is now pretty much happy as Larry. This calf is. We've given it some milk. How good's that? So when we do get some more calves, if we could technically just maximize these out now. Now they will get to a certain age and you'll notice that you can start moving and they might become heifers obviously first and then eventually cows and so on. So I'm just going to quickly buy some calves, why not? And we can move them in eventually anyway. I think that's fine. So there we go, we've got some calves that have got straw and some milk. But I did get distracted there, so let's kind of carry on and use this milk to put into the butter. So I'm hoping that we just have to tip it within the trigger. As you can see, it is going up. No spare capacity for milk, so it looks like it only holds 500 at a time in this, and you can see that there's milk now in there. If we now put back on that and click this, I imagine if we go to butter, you can see that it's 120 cycles again, holds 500 litres of milk, 150 litres of milk turns into 130 litres of butter, and that is one cycle. So if we activate this now, I imagine that this will start moving the drum and we just let it go. And eventually what we'll start seeing, probably on the sides, is a bit of butter. And also on the sides over here, maybe some cheese. Right, so I'll leave that going. It's good though, because we've definitely learned how to make it from both sides. We've learned how to make the cheese. I imagine it's the same for goat's milk as well, and goat's cheese. You just pour in goat's milk in this. I don't personally think it's going to separate. You'll just see the same. And then again for the butter, dead simple. I mean, it's not as hands-on again as what it was in FS19, so that is a bit of a shame, but I guess that's just the way that it's designed now within FS22 with all the productions that are already inbuilt. It's probably more difficult to get more hands-on, but then again, I mean, Farmland is every time surprises me with what he adds in, so there's nothing stopping him. You know what I mean? We've got animations as well, which is pretty good to see. I mean, you can tell from the wine as well, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. But maybe if you compare it to FS19's version of this map, it's a lot different, it really is. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass time a bit. There's no reason anymore for us to stick in February. We've sold everything that's to value of us. We're not going to lose any income now. So, and we're already sitting at really good money anyway, so we may as well skip a bit of time and then just see how the cheese and the butter is getting on. Right, so welcome back. After a bit of time sped up, we're now in March, second day of March, and as you can see, we are processing some cheese, and we're also processing some butter. So what I've done is I've spawned in the pallets, so the base FS22 version and the equivalent to this. So this is a base pallet of cheese. If you've been doing the productions, you probably notice it really well, but this is what you get when you're doing the cheese on Hof Bergmann. So you get a big slab, or loathe of cheese, I think they're called. And as you can tell, the 250 litres, just because I've modified them, made them 250. I've also modified these to be 250 as well. They're the butter. But you can see that from a 1,000 litre pallet of cheese, this is a loaf of 250. So they are pretty cool. So every time it processes off, they just froze them onto this. And what I also did, I actually spawned in a equivalent of the goat's cheese. But I have made this one 500 litres. Just because I thought, why not? Just to test it out. So let's have a quick look at the butter. You can see that the butter, it kind of drops into here, into this, and then as soon as it hits the certain level that it needs to be, so for me it's 250, you'll get a box of butter, and this is what they look like. So again, equivalent over here, this is what you get in the game base. So this is a crate of unsalted butter. Again, this is 1,000 litres, where these are coming out in 250s. So again, it's really good if you want to sell them and get hands on, so you can put them in the back of your truck and go sell them. The price, again, not too bad on these. If we just have a quick look, I can show you how much money they actually make. It's not massive, but you know, it's not bad as well. So for butter, it's currently at 1,600, but you can get up to 1,758 per 1,000 litres. And with cheese, you can see that it's about 3.5 for 1,000 litres, which isn't bad at all. Goat's cheese is 5,000 though, so you get a lot more than that for that. So it's definitely worth doing a bit of goat's cheese. So yeah, overall pretty happy. I mean, it's a nice little touch, nice add-on to offer. So if you want to do goat's cheese, butter, and get a bit more hands-on, see a few animations as it's going as well, seeing the full production side, I mean, you can't complain. It looks really good. Again, something cool that Hof Bergmann's added to the map. Now, these have still got milk. They haven't got rid. You can see as well, there's also manure in these pens, which I thought was pretty cool. So the last thing we're going to do before I end the video is we're going to scoot all the way over to here, to the vineyard, which is pretty much a ghost town at the moment. There's nothing going on. But what has happened is the compost, as all the waste that we put into this pit for compost is turned. Now it says it was fermenting, but really it's not fermenting, it's just converting into compost, and it's got its own texture and everything, and this is good stuff. You can obviously load into your spreader and put it on the ground. So we've got some compost now, and we've got a good amount. It's not massive, it's like 30,000 litres. I mean, I've got 5,000 in that bucket, so it's just over 30,000 litres here. So it's pretty much like one muck spreader load for use on the field, but it's not bad as a byproduct from well, look at the money we've got. We're at 600k. I've already bought a really nice tractor and a new loading wagon, and as a byproduct from all that, you can't complain. So having some compost is a good bonus to the map. It really is a nice touch. But overall, I am happy. We've done a lot. We've seen a lot. It's been a lot more productive than the last few episodes with the issues I was having. But yeah, dead happy to see that the butter's working well, and the cheese is. We've obviously sold quite a bit as well, made a bit of money. So I think talking about the next episode, which will be episode 10, probably going to be harvest season. I'm going to make sure I skip to harvest season, and then we want to be doing stuff with that harvest. We've obviously got a few byproducts, i.e. grain meal, and I think there's also flour we can be doing from that. So yeah, in the next episode we'll definitely be looking at the harvest. We'll also try and do a bit of the grain meal, working through that side and just seeing what's on offer when it comes to doing some harvest or some more arable work on the map. So on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up because that does help my channel out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.